Hello and welcome to the Philippines. If you're in the Philippines for very long at all, there is a chance that you will choose to take a bus and or a van, a VHire van, which is a 12 to 15 passenger van usually somewhere. They're pretty economical to use, and they vary greatly by region, by city. The quality of the bus varies greatly from luxury buses, even with upper levels and places you can sleep, I understand, is what I have read. I haven't seen those myself. To aircon buses that have televisions, to buses that have no aircon, to buses that don't even have windows. And if you're in one of those and you're on the sunny side, it's going to get quite warm there. Later in the video, I'm going to show you a site that has a neat little thing where it helps you to even estimate what your fare will be. You move a little your starting point and destination on the map, and it gives you the miles and the estimated fare. Anyway, this is the South Bus Terminal in Cebu City. There's two bus terminals here, a North Bus Terminal and a South Bus Terminal. The South Bus Terminal is the larger of the two. And they usually go south or west out of here. The North Bus Terminal either goes west or south, usually. Not absolutely guaranteed. When the busy season, the holidays, these places get packed and you're in line, standing in line to get on the bus. Most tickets are sold on the bus by ticket seller counter, and he asks you where you're going, tells you what the fare is, gives you a little ticket, and you pay that. I'm sure there are terminals where you buy the ticket ahead of time, but I haven't seen any of those myself. Cirrus is one of the big companies here. Like Manila has, I believe, 8 bus terminals and 30 bus companies, and most of those are located within a 1 kilometer area, and I'll show you a little more about that later as well. You may find buses picking up people at places located outside the terminal as well. This bus goes back and forth to a town just south of Cebu City called Naga City, and they just run back and forth. And this is at SM Cebu City, the big mall, and 40 pesos to take that trip, hour trip or so, so less than $1, very economical. It is best to ask the locals, because you may have a bus stopping near you. You might not have to go to the terminal. And if you're on one of the roads that the buses traverse along the route, usually you can flag them down. Hold your hand out, wave to them, try to get them to stop. If they have room, they'll usually stop. I found this site with some schedules, but they can change, so just be aware of that. The South Bus Terminal is downtown Cebu City, close to the Elizabeth Mall. It's called the E Mall. The North Bus Terminal is very close to SM Mall in Cebu City. So that's the VHire terminals, 12 to 15 passenger vans, and they pack them in. That and the luggage. You might have to have that luggage sitting on your lap or pay for an extra spot for it to sit. They cost usually just a little bit more than the bus does. They're conditioned. Just like many of the bus drivers, they can drive quite aggressively. This is at the North Bus Terminal. There is room for some luggage behind the back seat. There was 5 of us on this trip from Cebu City to Malapascue, or up to the north end of Cebu. And I think we negotiated for 2,500 pesos for 5 of us, so it was 500 pesos a piece, about $10, and gave us more room than packing 12 to 15 people in there. That is a possibility. And if you're one person, you could rent it for yourself as well for 3,500 pesos. A taxi going the same distance from Cebu City up to the north of Cebu usually quotes me about 3,000 pesos, so very similar. The one key is to ask the locals. Tell them where you want to go, whether you want a bus or VHire van, and they can usually give you very good advice. Some areas of the country have little to no van type travel. Others have little to no bus travel. It's mostly by either motorbike, tricycle, uh, van or bus. Some places like the Philippines, like the Cebu Island, it's a pretty good combination of both of those, moving people around. And so it gives you some options. Now, on to a very interesting site, one of the most interesting sites I've come across in about the last year, called silentgardens.com, with a dash in between silent and gardens. But they have some information on bus travel as well, and they have some information here about the different types of buses. The luxury buses, I might have seen a couple going down the road through town as a tour bus type of thing, but I haven't seen any in the terminals here. The biggest terminal in Manila is the Cubao, Quezon City Terminal. 8 bus terminals within 1 square kilometer, and about 30 bus companies that apply their routes out of those various terminals. The luxury buses usually have a CR toilet on board. The other buses stop every couple hours or so, usually. If you need to make an emergency stop, it says ask the driver and go vanish into the bushes. Bring something to eat. They do, and when they do stop, there will be vendors coming up trying to sell you different snacks and that type of thing, usually. Anyway, this is an interesting little thing they have here is a bus calculator. Calculate your bus fare and trip time. It's an estimation. It's not tied in, and they will vary depending upon the bus line that you take, out of which terminal you go out of, whether it's non-aircon, aircon, luxury, of course. And here it gives you some, they've got a route planned out here from Quezon City, Manila area to Naga City, and total distance 384 kilometers. Common bus fare 500 to 730 pesos, so 500 is $10 to about $15. Aircon bus fare 653 to 884. Luxury bus fare, if you can find it, 692 to, it's quite a range there, but it's going to depend upon the company and how luxury that is. Now, if you want to use this, what you can do, I have found, let's see, hit Control and the scroll to where do you want to go. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here to Cebu, and I'm going to take this starting point here. I'm going to move it to Cebu City, right about there. And I'm going to take the ending point and move it to the north part of Cebu Island, which is where you catch the ferry to Bantayan Island here and Malapascua Island over here. And it immediately reworked that. And let's just see what it says here. 120 kilometers, about 3 hours and 5 minutes. That's pretty close to the time it took us. And it gives the street-by-street turns as well. So that is a application you can use if you're interested. I don't know how accurate it is. Let me go up here, and maybe it's working on the fares right now. I don't see the fares there, but anyway, that I found that site to be very interesting. Not only for buses, but they have other information on traveling: air, sea, road, train, taxes and fees, refund, explore the different parts of the Philippines, history, geography, health, money, culture, holidays, weather. I found their weather site to be rather interesting also. So anyway, I thank you all for coming along. Buses, VHire vans, some of the drivers get very aggressive, use the oncoming traffic lanes. something many of you would get a little nervous about, but it's a way to travel here in the Philippines. Thank you for coming along. Please share the video, and subscribe, and safe travels to you all, and we will see you next time.